Hello everyone and welcome to another video. Today we are going to be looking at my GOP's best case scenario for the 2024 senatorial elections. So this is my current 2024 US Senate prediction. I have Republicans at 53, Democrats 47. I'm pretty sure we can all agree that Republicans are going to win the Senate. But what is the best case scenarios that they can win it by? So let's go ahead to this blank Senate map. And if you did not notice, last video I actually did not turn on my microphone. That was stupid of me. But today I did. So now let's keep going with the video. So now let's start with this blank Senate map with the Dem states that I think are still going to stay safe. Yeah, all of these, a bunch of strong Democratic incumbents running. And Hawaii. Okay, now let's go to the safe Republican states. Texas, I actually do have as a likely rating for my Senate prediction, as you can see right here. But since this is the GOP's best case scenario, we are going to make it safe, as well as Montana, which I also have likely for my 2024 Senate prediction. So we're also going to make that safe, as well as Ohio. So Ohio, I actually have it as lean Republican. But remember, if this is a best case scenario, I am actually going to think it's probably going into the safe margin by just barely. Now, Republicans already have 52 seats. But I think they can get a bunch more in this best case scenario. So now let's go to the likely Democratic states. Washington. Delaware. Delaware, the incumbent, Tom Carper, is retiring. And the Democratic candidate is not that compelling and enthusiastic and not that strong of a candidate. Connecticut, I just don't think it could go safe in this best case scenario for the Republicans. In Massachusetts, Elizabeth Warren, she actually does underperform Biden. So I do think that in this best case scenario, Massachusetts will go likely. Now let's go to the likely Republican states. These are mostly going to be the more Republican likely swing states: Michigan, Wisconsin, Nevada, and I'll just put in Pennsylvania and Arizona. These are really just a swing. Actually, I'll change Arizona and Pennsylvania to lean. These are basically just the more contested swing states, because I already have Montana and Ohio being pretty much going for the Republicans. And I did forget to do this, but I forgot to put Minnesota into likely. I do think Amy Klobuchar is quite strong of a Democratic candidate. She's an incumbent. She's actually quite moderate. And I don't think Minnesota can flip. Now let's go to the lean Democratic states. These are going to be, I'm going to put no states, no Senate contests into that lean Democratic category. Now, let's do the rest of the lean Republicans. I already put in Pennsylvania and Arizona, but what else is there? I am going to put Maryland in lean Republican in this best case scenario. I feel like Larry Hogan can pull it off. It is a pretty good possibility. Angela Olsenbrooks, she is leading by 8 points, 11 points. But in my real prediction, I don't see Maryland going red. But it's a possibility in this best case scenario, and I'm making that possibility come true. Now let's go to the final three. Let's start in New Jersey. I think that New Jersey could go for the Republicans. Extremely unlikely, probably under 3%. If Bob Menendez he's running as an independent because, all of those scandals and corruption. Uh, if he takes more points from Andy Kim, and I feel like Chris Bashaw, he can pull it off, but we'll have to see. So in this best case scenario, I'm putting it in the tilt Republican tier. Now let's go to Virginia. In Virginia, the incumbent is Tim Kaine. Virginia, you don't really see Kaine losing, but Hung Kao, he can win. The last poll was from April of 2024, and Hung Kao, he could pull it off. I'll say that. But Tim Kaine, he's a pretty strong incumbent. But I do think it is a good possibility that Hung Kao does pull it off, so I'm putting Virginia into tilt red. And now let's go to our final race, New Mexico. New Mexico is incumbent, I'm pretty sure, I forgot his last name. I do usually forget these Senate races, but although this is a Republican-sponsored poll, it does have Heinrich up by only 4 points. This is pretty bad for an incumbent. And there's only one poll that's not sponsored by a Republican company, a Republican sponsor. It shows Heinrich up by 7, which isn't that good for an incumbent. And obviously, Democrats do better in polls. So I do think the Republicans can pull it off in New Mexico. So I'll also put it in tilt red. Do I think in a real case scenario, a real life scenario, that Republicans are going to win in states like New Mexico, Virginia, Maryland, and New Jersey? Well, no, not for now. But obviously, like most things, we're going to just have to wait and see. And that is actually my current GOP best case scenario for the U.S. Senate. And that's it for today's video. I hope you finally got to see my new microphone voice quality. And once again, prayers to Donald Trump and his family. America is just in some really tough times right now. And God bless America.